front center and blowing your mind with some amazing guitar. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, make some noise for Rikk Beatty!
The cow says, the horse says, the rooster says, and the guitar says...
That was incredible! Yeah! Rikk Beatty, you guys, incredible! All right. But don't worry, we got two more from this wild man and then a live interview. Here we go. You queued up, Ben? Rikk Beatty. Wow. A little more guitar backing track.
Backing track.
A little more backing track, please, Chris. Yeah, that was phenomenal. I was just about to complain that I didn't bring a notepad, but then I remembered we were videotaping this. I'll be studying it closely. Phenomenal, my friend, phenomenal. You guys ready for one more? All right, here we go. Rikk Beatty, round 3. I'm in awe.
I just stole so much stuff from that right here.
I know.
I did.
And we got the video.
Super jacked.
Me and Tone, this is our secret plan. We're like, let's get some badass dudes together and film it, and then we could totally like sit there and be like, and nerd out. Oh, ooh, ah.
I'm gonna post some of those licks on YouTube and be like, yeah, I came up with that the other day.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Terrific.
Well, let's get on into the interview. By the way, really nice job on the sound, Chris. That sounded just wonderful out there in the front. It was great. Yep. We're pretty lucky to have a place like Louie G's to do something like this. As far as I know, there's nothing like this around, you guys, and you're here for the very first one.
Woo! Yeah!
6 months from now, you'll be like, I remember when that show was going on. No.
I just wanted to point out right now I'm actually surrounded by Tone.
Yes, you are.
Tone. All right.
Tone, yeah. Tone squared.
Tone on the left, Tone on the right.
Yeah, and we got another Tone coming up after that. I can't believe it. No one's pulled a Tony joke on me yet, but it will happen. It's coming. It's coming. It's a little bit of a shame that me and Tony didn't work something out because we could do the 3-tone jam. Maybe that'll be on a future episode.
I could have put on a tutu or something, you know, danced around a little bit.
Sick Tone.
It's a trip dance.
Sick Tone.
Yeah. Big shout out to my brother Glenn Cannon, Tony's lead vocalist, for being here tonight. Yeah. Window Pane, biggest rock stars in Seattle, bar none. Woo! For sure. We love those guys. All right, Rick, thank you so much for being here, bro.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Shoot.
Can I start out with just one thing?
For sure.
The easy button on his pedal board.
Yeah.
Let me pick this up just for a second. Let me show it.
Just explain.
You can actually
to
pull
us
it
all
off.
novice
You can pull it off,
observers
yeah.
what that is, though.
Well,
How cool is that?
It really is easy.
That was easy.
No, I used to have a pedal board, and I had a pedal that was it was a volume booster, and it said the Ego Booster on it. And then I had another one that was a Sonic Maximizer, and I had it repainted to say the Talent Booster. So I always had the Ego Booster and Talent Booster.
Well, apparently they both worked because, well, not the Ego Booster. You know, that's what's so nice about tonight. All the guitar players, they're not just brilliant players. They're all really nice people. So I hope you introduce yourself and get to know them because they're really good people besides being phenomenal guitar players.
I actually want to point out something about that, actually. When I was 16, I was in a metal band, and it was called Social Burden, and we played up north a lot, and one of my favorite bands was Forced Entry. And the show that we played, it was at the off-ramp, and at that time you had to be 18 to get into the clubs. And I was 16, and I pretty much passed for 18. I didn't have a problem with that. But they knew I wasn't 21, so they had me sit in this little tiny room off to the side that, you know, no man's land, basically. And I just remember, you know, before the show, and I saw Brad's rig up there and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, you know. And I remember sitting back there just basically doing nothing, and they got the curtain pulled and everything. And Brad came in, and he sat there for like at least a half hour just talking to me about gear and, you know, and stuff. And it was like, it was the coolest thing in the world. I mean, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional.
Wow.
It was,
I bet he is too.
no, but it's those types of things that really, you know, shape somebody. You know?
That spur you on as a player and make you want to pick it up and say, I want to become better at this instrument.
Yeah, and not only that, but never, you know, never thinking, you know, somebody's not, you know, important enough to talk to or anything like that. You know, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And he's talking about Brad Hull from Forced Entry and Sanctuary, our first guitar player tonight.
Yes.
That was, I hate to sound like a hippie, but that was pretty beautiful.
I actually am a little bit emotional myself, but he's absolutely right. I mean, it's small moments like that. That 30 minutes shape the next 30 years of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never forgot it, ever. And I've told it to the story to, you know, so many students and things like that, and, you know, and just saying, you know, that's you know, that's what a real, you know, mentor or musician does, you know. So
yeah.
That's awesome, man. And you know, it's amazing, like none of you young guys feel afraid or anything like that to come up to talk to me and Tony or Rick or any of these guys, because these are all amazing guys, and I think that's why Tony really put this event on, was for, the up and coming players that want to be inspired.
It is, and it's also, guitar players out of all musicians have a tendency to do this kind of crap.
Yeah.
And be at odds with each other. Guess what? We're all music fans, and we're all guitar fans. So why shouldn't we be fans of each other's playing? There's no reason to have that division and attitude and garbage.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get us all together as a unified force.
Yep.
And a big tribe of love and happiness and guitar beauty. And that's why, and you guys are awesome for being a part of that. For real.
I actually have something about that too. I have this mental thing where basically, when you get on stage and if you get nervous or whatever, for me it was always like, okay, if I play in front of 1,000 people, playing in front of 500 next time, no big deal. Play in front of 5,000, 10,000. Next time you play in front of a few thousand, no big deal. Well, it's the same way with almost exactly like what Brad was talking about. When he got here, it's like I expected to see this row of guitar players just sitting there like, play for me. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Let's wait till he messes up.
One of my most nerve-wracking guitar clinics I ever had was at a place called Daddy's Junkie Music in Boston, right across the street from Berkeley. And basically, when I walked in that place, there's like 150 guitar players walking around with guitars on their backs, going to and from class and all that stuff. And sure enough, I get in there to do the clinic, and I got like 2-3 rows of guitar players all doing that the whole show me what you got. And
but they stayed there.
They did stay there.
See?
And I have no idea why.
I have a pretty good idea why.
Yeah, me too. I just saw it.
Yeah. It was one of those things where after that I was like, all right, any guitar clinic I ever do after this is like piece of cake.
Trial by fire.
I would have to agree. I know right where that is because I went to Berkeley on Mass Ave right there.
So you knew that? Yeah, the big old Elvis head.
Oh
inside there in the,
I know right where that is.
Yeah.
That would be nerve-wracking for sure.
Dude, it was. Because I don't know. I mean, when I started out playing, I was really into just everything technical that I could do, and then slowly, I don't know really how or why it happened, but I got more into the note selection and things like that, and trying to, when I do instrumental tunes, try to replace the vocals with a melody line on the guitar and approaching it that way. And so going up in front of those guys, it was just like, oh my God, I mean, I can't talk theory to you guys. I can't, there's nothing that I know that you don't know, so it was definitely.
But, I have a story to share about you and me.
Oh, yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
I got a story to share about you and me. I think I was 17, I think, or something like that. And, for the longest time, I'd been telling people, I don't know, anybody around the local area in Olympia where I grew up where I could go get just edified by shred, and just get my face melted. And that's tough when you're trying to grow as a player. You get to a certain level and you just want to hang out with, guys like Rikk Beatty and stuff like that. Well, I had no idea who this guy was. And turns out he had won the store finals in Guitarmageddon at a different store. And I had won them at the Tacoma store. And we were battling together to be the best amateur guitar players on the West Coast together at the same competition.
Awesome.
Down in San Francisco.
Years and years ago. Yeah, and this guy just absolutely, like he did tonight, just threw down, I'm 17 years old. This is kind of my first crack at something like this, and I watched Rick just get up there just confident, and he's got this smile like he's always got, and he's just like, yeah, I just ruined your dreams, do-do-do-do-do. And, but no, it really spurred me on.
But in a really nice way.
Right, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because you just want to hug the guy when you talk to him,
That was terrible, but I love you.
So anyway, him and I kind of, bonded after that and hung out a bit and stuff. And, I ended up taking off down to L.A. and kind of doing my thing down there. But I'm so glad to be back here around Rick and, around Tony DeLisio and just all these great players. It's so great to be back.
Well, we're really glad to have you back, Tone.
Absolutely,
right on.
man.
Yeah.
You did amazing, by the way. Just an incredible job.
Really, it was breathtaking. It really was. All of the players tonight have been top shelf. I mean, I definitely wanted to start off with a bang. It's going to be really hard to maintain this level of awesomeness, but I'm pretty sure everybody that's playing tonight will be recycled again. So, as long as they're up for it, that is. So,
yeah, can we have the same guest back every week, or what?
We might need to.
I know.
Because,
I know.
Yeah. There is a small chance Jeff Loomis will be on the next one, though.
I heard about that.
Yeah, that might be pretty cool.
He hit me up on Facebook about that, actually.
Did he?
He did. So I think Jeff Loomis might be coming out for your guys' bring a welding mask, because there's going to be some meltage.
Oh,
Yeah, that, I mean,
Face
yeah, you might
melting.
want to leave your kids at home because they're going to have bad dreams of a giant dragon that looks like a guitar coming after them.
Yeah.
All right, so Sarah, where are you at, sweetie?
I'm right here.
All right, anybody got some questions for the
Questions.
incredible Rikk Beatty?
All right, we have one right here.
Hey, Rick. Don't take this the wrong way, but because this is like the most awesome thing ever. Can you come to my house every night and play me to sleep, please?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
I believe that was the
dun,
drummer
dun,
from
dun,
Sin
dun,
Circus.
dun.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
Chase Height from Sin Circus, who will also be playing with my band Mechanism here Saturday night, by the way.
Yes.
Special appearance. It ought to be pretty
Really
cool.
fun. I'm looking forward to that. guys.
That last tune you're humming to, we just it was kind of cool. We got picked
yeah, that
from
was me.
London
Sorry.
Bridge Studios. They just opened a record label called London Tone Music, and they have this thing called a year in your ear, and they sign one band to record one song a week for 52 weeks for the entire year. And it was great to get chosen for that. And that song, it's called Endless Summer. That was the tune that I wrote for that. And it was pretty awesome recording in that studio, looking at the board and that, all these huge bands,
Right.
Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and all these guys recorded up there. And it was just some cool
surrounded by
mojo.
gold and platinum records. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the last time I was up there, I was taking a pee, and I was like, how many rock stars have peed right here? Yeah, I'm,
In that little
I'm
dark
silly that way. Rick is one of the few guys that does all instrumental music, and I got to tell you, that takes a special kind of person to do that, because a lot of people are like, no, if no one's singing, I don't want to hear it. I myself love instrumental music. I listen to
Me
instrumental
too.
music
It's
all the
actually-
time.
It's
And I'm sure
it's
some of you guys
technical.
out there do too. But remember to watch for that. Rikk Beatty Band, do you have any gigs coming up, Rick?
Let's see. We just did a whole bunch. I've got some stuff that's going to prevent some gigs, future gigs coming up. But for right now, I think the one we have a show September 10th at Jazz Bones. That we're doing.
Awesome. So September 10th at Jazz Bones, guys. I'm going to be there. Hope to see some of you guys there too.
Awesome.
Anybody else got a question for Rick?
Right here, right here.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Dude, amazing tone, great hands, killer playing, mad respect.
Thank you.
Dude, seriously, wow. But I'm going to go super mega ultra guitar geek on you. Dude, talk to me about the fractal.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously, man. For the
Well-
mega guitar geeks in the crowd.
What amp model, what delay, what reverb,
Well, no.
what
but
I don't know about
compressor?
that. Okay,
Dude,
well-
I'm one of those guys. I'm an old school Marshall guy. I'm a
Yeah.
25-watt greenback guy. I'm a low output pickup guy. And those are the only things I've ever plugged into that even get close to the realm of organic. And I was sitting out here with Tony going, God, that guy's tone's killer. He's like, dude, it's a fractal. So for the mega guitar geeks in the crowd, will you talk to me about the fractal? I'd love to hear whatever you have to say, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. To kind of do like a preface on it, I was a clinician for Digitech for about 3.5, 4 years. And all my main tones always come from processors. I use the 2101 for like ever and a day. And when I started working with them, I started finding out a lot of information about processors, and in particular, what makes their competition, the Fractal Audio Axe-Fx 2, so amazing. And it all comes down to the processing power. The more power that you have to be able to process with, the more it can emulate all the little finite details of an amp and a head and mics in front of it, and put that through the speakers. And I mean, and you look at guys like Steve Vai and Petrucci, Alex Lifeson from Rush, Dweezil Zappa, all these guys have the Axe-Fx in their systems. Some of them use them with amplifiers, some of them use them straight into the board like I did tonight. But it's an amazing piece of gear that basically, when I looked at it, it was like combining the most awesome Eventide and like a Kemper amp modeler together. It was the best of both those worlds. And you can, I mean, you know, at the time, the very first time I saw one, I was playing with Larry Mitchell, and I'm dragging in these 110-pound orange cabs, you know, up on the stage, and you know, and I'm like, I'm killing myself, you know. And we were playing a gig at I think it was Stonegate or something, and we were playing upstairs. Oh. So we're dragging these cabs up the stairs. I get up there, we get it all set up, and I'm just destroyed. I just want to go home and go to bed, you know. And Larry comes in with this little tiny travel suitcase, and he opens it up, and he pulls out the fractal, and he pulls out the pedal board, and he plugs in a cable, and he's like, okay, I'm ready, you know. And I'm just like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And then he played, and his tone destroyed my tone. So I was like, what the hell am I doing, you know, with all this stuff? So yeah, the cool thing about the Axe FX is that it can be as simple of a machine as you need it to be, or it can be as complicated of a machine as you need it to be. I mean, you can create impulse responses from your favorite cabs and your favorite heads. You can actually plug in a CD and take a tone off of somebody's, off of a tune that you like where the guitar player starts out, and it goes through and analyzes the EQ, models everything, and creates a preset that sounds just like the tone on the CD. The thing is, it's off the charts. It's out of this world. It's amazing. Yeah. Absolutely.
Man, thanks, Glenn, for asking that question. Once again, Glenn Cannon from Window Pane, asking all the good questions.
Okay, so I do have one thing to say on that front. I have the Axe FX 2 XL in my recording studio up in Kent, and yes, it is an absolutely amazing unit, but it takes time.
Yes, absolutely.
It takes time. And you have to really know as a pro what you're listening for, because what he just put through the PA system, number one, was not an accident. And number two, was very carefully contrived. And number three, he got all the levels equal across different channels coming through a PA system. So let's give yourself some credit here, because that's not easy.
Thanks.
So what he's saying to all you non-players out there is not only is he a brilliant guitar player, but he's also a pretty much black belt computer genius, too. True. I think that's a fair statement.
I had the greatest job in the world for a little over 5 years. I basically got paid to travel around the world 2 weeks each month and play guitar and talk about gear. It was
yeah, sounds awful.
I just want to retire. I just want that to be, you know, that's it. It's not going to get any better.
Well, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here, Rick. It really is. Thank you so much for coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, Rikk Beatty.
It's good to see you after all these years, Rick.
Yeah, all right, we got one more phenomenal guitar player, lead guitarist of Window Pane coming up, Tony.